Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Hey guys, Professor Presbury back with another episode of Hey Professor, the show we talk about everything you wanted to know about healthcare management, business management, revenue cycle management. I'm your professor, Giovanni H. Presbury. Welcome back. It's cold as hail. This is going to be an episode within our sub-series Students Ask, where a student asked me a question, and so I answered that question. The question asked me was, hey professor, what would you do if you were at an organization that you really liked, you really enjoyed it, that organization seemed kind of like family, and while you have the ability to move on, you really don't feel like you're ever going to be happy at another organization the way that you're happy here. Without saying too much, I've had that happen before. I've worked in an organization where it was like a family. You know, I actually worked on the night shift. We had a good old time. My job was very easy, in fact. I mean, super easy. It kind of I was doing release of information, if I'm being clear. It was kind of clicking and dragging and sending the charts off. It was very easy. It was a low stress job. A lot of times I just have my phone open next to my computer watching Law and Order all night, you know, and not that I wasn't working. I was working. I was one of the best people working, but we had a sense of family. You know, we really got along very well. We joked all night. We ordered food. We kind of played around. So I've experienced that, and I'm sure a lot of people experience that same thing in, you know, whatever office that they work at. You may have that same sense of family. But here's the thing. That feeling that you're experiencing right now, that sense of family, that's very limited to the situation as it exists right now. It's a very unique moment in time. It's a slice in time. And I'm not saying it's not wonderful. I'm not saying it's not beautiful. Maybe it is, and you guys are having fun. But for me, when I was in that situation, I said to myself, you know what? This is fun. This is great, but it's not fulfilling my needs outside of here. You know what I mean? Like, it's not giving me the type of lifestyle that I want to have when I'm not at work. When I'm at work, oh my God, it's amazing. You know, we're ordering food, we're sitting there laughing, we're joking, we got inside jokes, we're doing this, we're doing that. You know, like I said, very stress-free job, but your job is really supposed to provide you with the type of lifestyle you want for outside of it. You know, we spend a lot of time at our jobs, and yes, we do want, you know, good stress-free jobs, and I want that as well. But at the same time, if your job is not providing you with the kind of lifestyle that you want outside of your job, you know, the type of pay to give you the type of lifestyle that you want when you're not working, when you're not on the clock, then what is it really doing other than kind of just hanging out, right? One of the things that I was kind of faced with was that same thought, that same feeling of it's never going to be as good as it is. And maybe it won't be. I've worked at many places across many years, and then the truth is I've never kind of recaptured that same sense of feeling of family, you know, like we had at that organization. And again, you know, you can kind of bring into question if you're really even supposed to. I mean, you're at work. You're not there to have a family. Your family is for outside of work, right? But one of the things I realized was this. The thing that I realized was that I would rather be that guy that looks back on that moment of time, that slice of my life, and realize that it's such a positive and perfect memory for me than be the person that stays for too long. Now, what do I mean by that? Right? That perfect moment that you're describing, that perfect family, is contingent upon all the people that are there now. And companies are made up of people. Yes, people move on, people fire, you know, people get promoted, people pass away, people leave, et cetera, et cetera. You are kind of thinking about it in the moment, and that moment is not going to last forever. And that's just the way it is. So when I was faced with that same situation, I did move on. And I do look upon that time in my life fondly. It was great, it was perfect. But those same people aren't even there. So what would have happened to me if I had stayed? Right? Over time, that feeling would have dissipated anyway, and then I would look back and I still wouldn't have the lifestyle that I want for outside the organization. I'm going to give you an example, right? And this is something I keep in mind when it comes to should I stay, should I go, I love it here, like the kind of overall philosophy of family, right? You are at your job to fulfill a purpose, whatever your task and your role is. But the job also fulfills a purpose for you. A lot of times people look at a job as it's something that they do and they're only gaining a paycheck. That should not be. You should be gaining something from your organization as well. So as much as it's working for you, you're working for it. It's a mutual situation. When you find that to be no longer the case, you need to reevaluate whether you need to move on. But in regards to the concept of staying, I worked at an organization once where a gentleman had worked there for 40 plus years, and they celebrated this man's accomplishment, they celebrated this man's longevity, and it was great, right? And they gave him a nice little pendant, and they said congratulations, and they patted him on the back, they gave him a slice of cake, and it was a whole thing. It was a whole to-do, and it was very wonderful, right? But also, as this guy's direct boss or supervisor, however, during the course of my time there, I had become privy to this person's payroll and how much they were paying, things like that. And that person being there, did they make okay money? Absolutely. Sure they did. I'm sure they were able to live very comfortably within the 40 years, the consistent raises and things like that they got, right? But here's the thing. In that same company, the CEO had only been there for less than 5 years. And this CEO, and again, I know you can't compare a CEO to a clerk, right? But you have the CEO making over $1.5 million a year, having been there for less than 5 years. And you got this guy having been there for 40 years, and he might have been making $70,000. Guess which guy I'd rather be? Take that as which person do you think I'd rather be? I'd rather be the person that maybe doesn't stay there forever, gets what they need as far as experience and time, and moves on. Even if you're somewhere for 5 years at a time, maybe up to 10 years at a time, it may not necessarily, and I'm not trying to give it to you either way, it may not necessarily have the result that you want to stay somewhere for 40 years. Again, it has to work, it has to make sense for you, and that's a choice that you have to make. But as your professor answering this question, having lived it, I'm going to say that I would probably move on in your situation. I have moved on to your situation, but I also understand if you decide to stay, because that perfect life balance. But remember, that don't last forever. I really do understand the concept, though, overall, of having I did just want to have a shot with this cool fireplace. I ain't even going to act like I didn't want to. Look at how nice that is. It's super funny, right? That's super cool. In any case, but I did want to really express, no, I get it, but it's something that we all have to face, right? We all have to decide, whether we want to be there for the long term and whether or not it does serve us. So just take that into consideration. I hope that I've answered the question, and I look forward to more questions of a similar nature. All right, have a good one. Bye. Yay! Intelligence is not enough. Intelligence plus character. That is the true goal of education.